Hello everybody, I'm Rainbow and welcome to Dimensional Walking. Today I am going to be talking to you about portals, portals, and I think this is going to be the year of portals. I think that they are the missing link here. And also I have the book that I have been reading called Merging Dimensions. It's a very good book. Now, I'm not getting paid for this. This is just something that I'm doing because I want you guys to maybe get access to some good read out there. Plus, this book has phenomenal photographs in it. So if there are those of you out there who enjoy lots of photographs to back up different types of research, then this is going to be the book for you. I didn't get it just for that purpose, but I do love photographs. But I like the information in it because I enjoy anything that has to do with portals, and I truly believe that they're the missing link. As I said, I just think that if we can start looking at portals, I truly believe we'll start finding some answers because there's a lot of unusual activity that happens around them. So with merging dimensions, and let me get my glasses here. It's called The Incredible Saga of the Bradshaw Ranch. Tom Dongo with Linda Bradshaw, and Linda Bradshaw is she's the owner with her husband of the ranch. This is back quite a while ago, and she took a lot of photographs, and she has evidence upon evidence of unusual happenings, high strangeness, or if you wanted to say, the phenomenon of the century happening on her ranch. Now, there's three ranches that I really are key on to that I'm focused on right now, and that's Skinwalker Ranch. That's this ranch, Bradshaw Ranch, and then there's another ranch in Buckeye, Arizona. Now, this particular ranch is on the outskirts of Sedona, Arizona, and it's basically called the Bradshaw Ranch. And even before Linda and her husband had this ranch, it was, I guess, used for movies. And even the film crew had unusual paranormal activity happening while they were doing the films. So it's just been ongoing there. The cool thing about this book is that Tom gives great accounts of experiences that he's had, and he's been a researcher for many, many years. And Linda, I think she's since passed away, but Linda actually documented, and she had phenomenal experiences happening to her. What was really interesting is in the different photos that they took, what I loved was the fact that they stated something that Michael and I have known for a really long time. Sometimes you can't see what's right in front of you. Sometimes an entity or a being won't show itself right in front of you. You won't see it. You maybe feel them, but you can't see them. Well, with cameras, you can see them. They'll actually come out in the photographs. And that is what happened to Linda and to Tom, because they would take photographs all around them, and these beings would appear. And it wouldn't be like the full body, it would be the legs, and they were humanoid as well. So it would be like part of a forehead, or from the waist down. You could see feet maybe with flip-flops. You could see maybe an arm or something like that. So you could see also a side profile of one of them. You could see different parts of these beings, but they'd never seem to allow themselves to be filmed as a whole being, so you couldn't just look at them straight up from the head to the feet. Also, they had a lot of orbs. Now, I've always believed that orbs are intelligent just beings. Maybe it's beings that don't want bodies, they don't need them. And I have a feeling that that's what happens to us when we leave this earth, that our soul, our spirit kind of just is this energy force. And so these orbs are that. They can also be other alien life force as well. That's kind of how they manifest. They can probably manifest in a lot of different shapes. And that's actually what happened to them. They had some images where there were flames a flame being. And, think about that in biblical times, what was talked about. So a lot of these images are basically very interesting because you can kind of go back in certain text and actually see that there were discussions of the same type of images, which is what I like, because I like it when history kind of correlates to the present and they can kind of back each other up. So also with this particular book, what I really liked about it is it talked about the portals, which, me, I'm like all about the portals. So what was really cool about this book is that there was a portal that they saw that was a distance away from the ranch. They saw military vehicles, they saw UFOs flying around, which on all three of these ranches, the other two ranches that I'm interested in, the same thing that they have in common, the one thing they have in common is the UFOs. There's also jet fighters or different types of military aircraft that have flown into these portals and disappeared. So people have seen that. And that includes helicopters as well, flying around these areas, vehicles, uh, soldiers that have been encountered in black uniforms, no insignia, just stating that different people have to leave the area. So obviously with this phenomena, there is a lot of interest, I believe, with the military because of, I think they actually know what these areas are. I think there's been enough probably research done on their part to probably know why there's portals, how the portals work, and these particular areas around the portal. So what I loved about this book is that it was basically information that was researched, backed up, not just by photographs, but also by talking to other people. There was also something very interesting that I think you would enjoy is Linda Bradshaw actually took a photograph of an actual window that had opened up, and it may be a part of the portal phenomena. And she actually saw into another uh, realm. It was daylight. There's actual a light post there. It seemed like it was a coastal image. And what was really cool about it is that it just seemed like it was a slip in time that just opened up in front of her, and she could actually see into another dimension, another reality. So that happened with her, which I would just I would just love to go see something like that. And she had a really good grounded sense of herself throughout this whole deal, which is what I've always stated, is that don't, a lot of people don't go nuts and crazy when they experience the paranormal. And if you're a researcher, as many of you know who are actually doing it, the important thing that we have to do is just stay calm, cool and collected, and just the whole point of getting this research is, I think, because a lot of the questions that we have answered, we then become the puzzle pieces to finding out actually what these things are. If enough of us get together with our research, I think that's what can happen. So, Merging Dimensions, The Incredible Saga of the Bradshaw Ranch by Tom Dongo and Linda Bradshaw is a phenomenal read. They It's not long. The photographs, I think, are my favorite part. And I think that what is so cool about this particular book is that it's an ongoing saga. It's an ongoing kind of not just research, but phenomena that is, to this day, it has not necessarily been explained. A lot of people to this day still experience things around the Sedona area anyways, because Sedona is considered to be a vortex. So, and I've been there many, many times. So I really enjoyed this book. Also, I wanted to share with you some other things that are happening that I think are very interesting. Um, I'm getting the book by John Edmonds, and I want to do a little error correction here. I said John Edwards in my last video. I think of I can't remember which one it was. The last couple videos back, I was talking about high strangeness, I think, or was it intelligent hauntings and dimensional hauntings? Maybe it was that video. But the name of the gentleman who has the ranch in Buckeye, Arizona, his name is John Edmonds, and he has a book out, and I'm actually getting it off of Amazon, and it is called Stardust Ranch: The Incredible True Story, and it's written by John Edmonds and Bruce MacDonald. So if you want to go onto Amazon and get that book, I think you might enjoy that. There's also another book out which has to do with Skinwalker Ranch, and it's called Hunt for the Skinwalker, and that is authored by Colum A. Kelleher and George Knapp. And actually on Netflix right now, with the new owner of Skinwalker Ranch, there's a docuseries that has been, I think, I don't know if it's the Discovery Channel or whatever it was on, but now it's on Netflix, and it's called The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. And if you have Netflix, you can go ahead and go and see, I think the first episode. I think they have the first season up there, so that's pretty cool. So with those three ranches, they have my intrigue, because I truly believe that portals are going to be the answer to a lot of questions that we have that have to do with aliens, UFOs, any type of aerial phenomena, cryptids, beings that are around the specific areas of these locations. I think that as a researcher, those are the areas that I'm focused on right now, and I'm hoping to at least get to the Sedona area by the end of this year to go check out the Bradshaw Ranch. Now, the Bradshaw Ranch has actually, it's been sold. And the unfortunate thing there is that, when something is sold, it probably means that there's not any access to the area. So I think that the unfortunate thing is that I might be able to go around, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to go exactly to the actual location, as if, I mean, if I knew the owners prior, that would have been a different story, but I'm coming kind of late to the game, so I think I'm trying to find out where it's been sold, and I don't see. Anyways, it's no longer accessible to the average person. Okay, it says Congress provides money to acquire Bradshaw Ranch. So that's so it's been bought by university. So what's interesting about the Bradshaw Ranch is that it's a natural paranormal phenomena area that has been ongoing, I think, since before humans, before we were ever there. That's my intrigue with it, because not much is, well, I think at this point some things have been messed with, because there was a huge fire, and what had happened was they just let the fire burn. And then I think Tom said that some of the paranormal phenomena in that particular area had actually stopped. So maybe there was something, that somebody didn't want messed with, and they just decided to let it burn, and maybe that affected the paranormal activity in that area. So there's a lot to be said for this wonderful ranch. We have a friend of ours, Michael and I have a friend who actually has gone out there and actually has been going to that area for quite a while. I think this last time that he went, he didn't have a lot of experience with the paranormal, but I think, the paranormal has its own time, its own, it's kind of like fickle in when it shows itself and when it doesn't. So it says here, let's see if I can find from where it starts. In 2000, the Bradshaw Ranch, by a special session of Congress, was purchased for $4.5 million. At that time, it was approximately 90 acres. So there you go. After being purchased, the ranch was transferred to the National Forest Service, a U.S. government agency. The Forest Service has since leased the ranch to the University of Northern Arizona. The ranch will be used for climate change research of native Arizona trees, plants, and shrubs. And what's really interesting about that, and I totally agree with Tom, is if they're going to build little like buildings for students and have structures on that area, I, I mean, imagine students experiencing the paranormal around that area. I mean, that area, it hasn't stopped, and it's been happening for so long. I just wonder, if at this point anything has been done, if it has actually, if they have buildings on that location, and what's happened, if they're really doing climate research or if they're doing something else, because you never can tell in experiences with situations like that. They buy something for another reason, and then they have ulterior motives for what they do. So, anyways, I thought I'd bring this book to your attention. I don't want to say much more about it because I really want you to read it. I think it's a really good read. It's not a long read. I mean, with me working and doing everything that I've been doing, it's pretty easy. And plus, I love photographs myself. And then the other book with John Edmonds, I know a lot of that story, and I think I confused John. And I always remember John Edmonds being familiar with John Edwards with that last name, and I think that's why I kind of confused the two names. So I'm so sorry that I had done that. But that ranch has the same phenomena happening to it that the Bradshaw Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch has. The one thing that all three of these ranches have are portals. Folks, the portals are key here and a lot of stuff that's happening. So what I think, what I'm going to suggest and what I think that we should all do is start looking into portals. Now, Michael and I have a little portal in the front part of our yard. We have Douglas fir trees, and the trees are kind of curved. And what's interesting about that is the other night, because of this book, I decided to go out and take photographs because Linda and Tom had suggested that when you go out to these locations, and I think that our yard has paranormal phenomena happening around it, that to take photographs, just to nonchalantly just take the photographs, because a lot of times what we'll do is we'll look at something and we'll aim, and that's how I used to do it, and I never got anything. So a couple nights ago, I went out and I just thought, I'm just going to put out into the ether that, or into our front yard, the idea that I'm out there to be friends with whoever is there, because I have occasionally had these bright lights and sparkly lights go past the window of this one bedroom, and I've always sensed and felt something was in the bushes at night. I don't feel them during the day, but I definitely feel them during the night. And so do my animals. My animals are a little funny at night, and I truly believe it's because nighttime is their time, the time for these beings to be out and about while we're sleeping. So anyway, so about, let's say about 11 o'clock, 11:30, I went out and I started taking photographs, and a lot of them didn't come out, but there were a few in the bushes of these little light anomalies that actually were caught, something very similar to the photographs that Linda had caught in the book, that's shown in the book. And so it's like a little, it looks like a little tiny spacecraft with all these lights. And so I caught that in the front of our yard, and I'm going to try to get those photos, get them to where I can actually show them to you. It's just been a couple of days and I haven't had a chance to get them off my camera. And then I also truly believe that I photographed some streaks of weird light going past the house, because I had all the lights turned off outside. So I wanted to make sure that I can kind of capture whatever's there. And I just let whatever want to show itself, show itself. And so I just told the entities and spirits and the beings that were outside that I'm just there. I'm mistress of this area. I'm the caretaker, and if you want to show yourself, to show yourself. And so they did. And so I truly believe that the fact that we have that mini tree portal in the front yard with the Douglas firs, that actually is a part of the paranormal stuff that's happening here. And besides that, Loki, the Sasquatch that I got to know years ago, that's here from Oregon, had told me that trees are portals, and that's how a lot of the Sasquatch, they portal jump from one area to another. They just have to have certain trees that they actually portal jump through. So if that's the case, then that obviously explains the front area of our house. So portals are something that I think are natural phenomena on this planet. I also think there's artificial portals as well. I truly believe that when I had the experience with the labradorite stone, that I created some type of portal with that. And I think that you can create portals with different crystals. I think portals can happen also because of what's underneath the ground, the topography around the portal area. So if you have granite, if you have limestone, I think if you have iron and copper deposits underneath. And I also think that aquifers, I think that any time there's water rushing underneath, because water has a lot of power to it, that has something also to do with where these portals are. And I think if there's any types of crystals that are formed underneath, that has a lot to do with where these portals are. I think that if we kind of look into portals for this year, that we might find some interesting answers to our questions. I think there's always more questions that come up when you do this kind of research. So just be prepared for that, because I have so many more questions now than I ever have when it comes to portals. I'm just so excited about portals. And I know that there's a lot of UFOs that are being shown right now. And I know there's other stuff going on. But for me, my intrigue and interest is portals, and I think that there's a reason for that. I'm trying to figure out what that is. I also think that we need to take a good look at the different areas around portals and who's living around those areas and who we see around those areas as well. I mean, it's not just who lives there, but it's who's walking by, because there's some people who have actually been around these portal areas who have seen human looking people, that look kind of like you and me, but yet they know they're not. And so maybe there's human looking beings out there who inhabit, what's that word? Who live around, I'll say it that way, who live around these amazing portal areas. So let's look into portals. Let's have a discussion about it down the line. I mean, if you guys have any insight or information about portals, just share them with Michael and I, because that's kind of where my intrigue is. So I hope you look into some of these books. There's this one, which is Merging Dimensions, and that is by Tom Dongo and Linda Bradshaw. Then there's the John Edmonds book, Stardust Ranch, The Incredible True Story, and that is co-authored by Bruce MacDonald. Then there's The Hunt for Skinwalker Ranch, which was authored by Colin A. Kelleher and George Knapp. Check it out on Netflix, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, because Skinwalker Ranch is owned by someone new now. So it's not, NIDS doesn't have anything to do with it anymore. So if you have any questions or anything to comment in, please do. I'm just in a place to where I'm just ready to go out there and go check out these portals and just kind of see what they're all about. If you have a comment about anything that's happened in your life, Michael and I, we read all our comments, and Michael will let me know when I get comments, and so I'll comment back in if you leave anything down below. And so I hope today was kind of a little insightful. Just understand that this is an ongoing interest. So if you have any suggestions, do so. I mean, if you know any other places, share those places, because down the line I'm going to get to these different areas. I've already been to Skinwalker Ranch. I've been around Sedona, but I haven't been to the Bradshaw Ranch, and I want to go to Stardust Ranch. And I've already talked with John Edmonds, and so hopefully I can get out there and go see his ranch. So anyways, you guys take care. I hope this was interesting for you. And I'm not sure what will be happening in the next video, but anyways, if you have any thoughts or anything to say, just say it. We enjoy hearing from everybody. Don't forget to check out Truth Seeker Forum, and then for the magazine that I write for, it's paranormalunderground.net. So check them out if you can. Subscribe to them, because Cheryl and Brad are great people, and I'm sure they would appreciate you subscribing to their magazine. So take care. It's been great talking with you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.